Oh man, we we just did like 15 whole minutes without like even hitting the record button. So there's probably gonna be some bloopers on social media. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon Corey Alexander. I am 3 of 3 in the Wrestling Scrubs. And today is the genesis, the inauguration of the Wrestling Scrubs podcast. This is our very first episode. We're going to call this one episode 0, clocking in, so to speak. And today we're just going to introduce ourselves and tell you what we're about and why we got started with this thing. We're going to start with the man down here at the end of the corner. He's already done this once, but it was on camera and not on recording. And if we're going to be on Spotify, well, you got to have audio, my guy. What's up, Brandon? How you doing?
Hey, man, how's it going? I am Brandon of the Wrestling Scrubs. Samco and I actually do work together in the medical field. Just an idea, 2 friends getting together, sitting down, came over the course of 5 years and decided, you know what, let's turn this into something for real. There are other people out there that, would love to hear what we got to say, would hate what we got to say. But either way, it's something to say from a different perspective. Just let people know from all walks of life, all different types of, jobs and stuff. Wrestling is important.
Well, certainly is. And then there's the man that's directly to my right, dead center of this whole podcast, the tallest man in the room, I think. I don't know. I think you're the tallest one. You're like, what, 7'1"?
About 6'7".
All right. Just do your thing, man. Tell them who you are. I'm
30 years old. Yeah, anyways, my name is Sam. Like I said, my actual name is Sam Co. I just tell people Sam because it's easier. They don't know how to pronounce Samco for whatever reason.
Samiko,
Sanoco, Costco. I've heard everything in between. And then from doing music, my music name is Kid Euro or Euro. So like I said, any of those names work, whatever you want to call me. And
it's basically the ones with the cowboy hat that's like, what the hell is a Samco?
Exactly.
Is that some sort of petrol? Gasoline? Oh, that's Sunoco.
That's right. Yeah, so I got pretty much what Brandon was saying. Just always talking wrestling 24/7. It's like we talk more wrestling than we do about work. Because who wants to talk about work?
That's ridiculous. Yeah. Talking about wrestling 24/7.
Right.
I mean, we get the work done, so that's important.
Exactly. That's what counts. Work first and then wrestling.
There you go.
Yeah, but like I said, I just decided to why not do this on a podcast and share the information that we have. Like you said, facts, opinions, whatever.
Experience.
Share with you guys. Experience. Yeah, definitely.
And ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon Corey Alexander. You already know that from the intro. I have been actually in the professional wrestling business for just a smidge over 20 years at this point on the independent circuit. I've done some pretty amazing things and made some pretty spectacular contacts. I am not medical personnel at all. I've actually been in a psych ward 3 times. That's a true story. We'll get into that much later down the road, probably like episode 69 or something like that.
Gotta save the content, save it.
But right. Yeah, save the content for the Instagrams. I co-own or used to co-own or am on sabbatical for a professional wrestling organization based right out of here in Jacksonville, Florida, called the United States Wrestling Alliance. Help executive produce and do commentary and some broadcast and host work for River City Wrestling Con, the largest wrestling convention in the southeast region of the United States. Current broadcast and commentator for Pro Wrestling Action, which is where we will be. And I said we weren't going to date this, but next weekend on March 15th in Sanford at the Sanford Civic Center. And outside of all of that, I am the social media manager, graphic designer, editor, poster, scheduler, 6 a.m. annoyer of the Wrestling Scrubs podcast and its affiliated content, the Trauma Center. And what we're going to talk about today is just basically like why we got into this, why we wanted to do this. I am bleeding. I don't know why.
Good thing we got medical staff.
Good thing we got some medical staff. And so, I'm 3 of 3. I'm not medical staff at all, but I wanted to join these guys because they came to me with an idea. And I have the experience from inside the professional wrestling business, which opens the door for them to accomplish goals and find success. And that is ultimately my goal, is to help them be as successful with this project as possible. So what do you guys want to talk about, man? Not to bite Cody Rhodes or nothing, but hey, What do you want to talk about?
Man, okay.
Cricket noises.
Okay.
So how did this whole idea come about? Like what made you guys say, like you said you were talking about wrestling at work, like what made you say, hey, I want to do a podcast? Because I mean, you have experience with this, and we'll get into the whole YouTube aspect of it later, but you have experience with this whole wrestling thing. But like how did you drag him into the whole fold of things?
So yeah, like I said, basically I'm talking about wrestling all the time at work. I actually used to work in a different department in the hospital. I was part of the transport department.
Nerd.
And just right. And then, like I said, just walking the hallways, I met up with Brandon, and eventually we started working together for the same department, supply chain.
Okay.
And
what the hell is a supply chain?
It could be anything.
I mean, what is in a supply chain? Honestly, it's like,
I mean, like, do you guys like bring like the calf tubes and like the shock things?
See, that's the thing. Like, it's supply chain does everything. So yes to everything you just said. Like, yes to everything. So we deal with everything. So it could be like actual specific medical equipment that goes into the rooms, or it could just be like actual supplies, like you said, like lube or tubes, or even some instruments. We're in charge of all of that stuff. So
that's pretty damn cool, actually. Yeah, it was pretty amazing the level of attention you guys got when I brought you along to DCCW, and there were, not to get into too many details, but there was like some health crises going on, and people are like, "Hey, where are those nurse dudes at?" And like they left already, man. But no, being medical personnel and trying to get into this platform of professional wrestling is a very unique concept. Like when you guys came to me and you said, "Hey, do you want to do lunch and we're going to talk about this, and this?" I was like, at first I was kind of like taken aback because I can't tell you how many times, and Brandon and I have spoken at length before Sam got here, obviously. I can't tell you how many times somebody has come to me with a podcast idea and they say, "Yeah, I want to do this." And then we'll do like one episode or something like that. And I'll put all this effort into it. And then they just like, it fails. It goes on its wayside because people are inconsistent. But that's because most podcasts are just audio recordings and video stuff. So this, when they presented it to me in a sushi restaurant or a poke restaurant or whatever, some sort of Asian cuisine, which I was immediately in for.
All the above.
Yeah, all of the above.
Right, yes.
I pretty much came to the conclusion. I was like, okay, I like this. I like this idea. I mean, you guys are scrubs and stuff. I can kind of be behind the scenes or be like an extra voice on this. I can do whatever.
Dr. Alexander.
Yeah, I'm. There you go. I mean, it was already a Dr. Eric Christopher, and
we got the wise man, the oracle, the advocate, the doctor.
Right, there you go.
The asshole.
Well, hey, Doctor, what we can work that out.
The rebellious renovator. But no, when you guys presented this idea, at first it seemed kind of corny. I was like, it's just two guys in scrubs. Like, what are you going to do? Talk about like Monday Night Raw, AEW? What are we going to talk about? But then you started presenting these like side ideas that you had. And one of the coolest ones I personally think is like the 12 episodes on Instagram that we just released of a segment called the Trauma Center. Something that's never been done before. It's completely unique. And immediately, as soon as we got done, I jumped on it. I created a graphic for it. I created a little format and a template for it. And then I brought these guys along to DCCW out in McClenny. Shout out to them. Thank you for allowing us to do what we do. Tell them what the Trauma Center is and how you guys came up with that idea.
So basically the Trauma Center, where we go to these live wrestling events, and either before or after the show, however it works out, we go around and we interview the independent wrestlers, ask them a series of 4 questions. It's quick and easy. And there will be another one where we do like more questions, but for now we're sticking to the 4-question format, and is it pretty much getting to know the talent for those of you that don't know the wrestler.
Yeah, I love the concept. My favorite one was Eddie Torres, by the way. What about you, Brendan? How like what'd you think when he brought this up?
I mean, I thought it was great. Sam came to me with quite a few ideas. Sam always has like a bunch of these ideas, and
He's
it's like,
a wild
all right,
guy, man.
Let's go ahead and take this and like mold it into something. So that's when immediately I went to the house and I was like, okay, look, let's start writing some questions down. So I put together 4 that fit nice, perfect under like a 5-minute window, something like you said, just to kind of get in, get out, whatever it is we can do. And then we'll just expand on that as time goes on. But yeah, I mean, I like that. The wrestlers give very interesting answers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they did. I think one of the most unique things that happened out of that was like when you asked like who you want to put in the hospital, like metaphorically, the wrestling is not
right.
We're not, the whole point of wrestling is to keep each other safe, but like the answer to the question, who do you want to put in the hospital, was always El Nino.
Yeah.
Like everybody had a bone to pick with this guy, and I can relate. But I got like, shout out to El Nino, because the dude's a good sport, man. I've been watching him for quite a long time, and that dude has like elevated his game to a whole new level. He's been at River City Wrestling Con a few times. He hosted River City's pay-per-view watch party last year, I believe.
He did.
with the Cologne family. So that's a pretty big deal for him. I'm super proud of the kid. And like, yeah, we might have our bad blood and some history behind everything, but like all in all, like I look at people in the wrestling business and I watch them for the progression to see what they're doing with their career, with their character, how they are in their personal life. And El Nino is one of those people that just kind of like went from like right here and just punched through the ceiling. So shout out to him for allowing us to get that trauma center.
Yes.
I like the concept of asking people questions about injuries they've seen in and out of the business. Do you guys have any other like unique ideas like that? Like, I know we talked a little bit about me doing like the vital signs, which is like a speed round of how'd you get into the business? Like what drew you into it? Kind of, sort of, you know, like an origin story. Like, you want to tell your real name or not? You want to take your mask off? Looks at Ray Fury. You want to take that mask off, buddy? You want to do it? You want to go like, this is an Undertaker Brock Lesnar at UFC moment. You want to do it? No. So you guys got any other ideas up your scrubby sleeves there?
For now, no, we do have some, behind the scenes stuff that we can't talk about. But for now, I think this is pretty much it. The in-studio podcast and the trauma center.
So before we get into the next topic of conversation, we're just going to bring up the whole YouTube fiasco just in case YouTube decides it wants to demonetize and possibly ban this one. So when we originally started this idea, we officially kicked off, what's today, Saturday. So what, 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago? Was it 2 or 3 weeks?
I'll say about 2.
2 weeks ago at DCCW show. And we recorded 12 episodes of the Trauma Center. We did 2 intro videos. We did some side content. And we started posting everywhere. And it took I think all 12 Trauma Center videos made it to YouTube. And then we did 2 intro videos. Brandon's went out first. And then as I'm recording mine, I had scheduled Sam's to go up. And right as soon as I went to go post mine, I noticed like we got flagged for circumvention. Yeah. And in terms of technical knowledge, I have no idea what the hell that means. So I try to keep everything as consistent as a social media manager for the group as possible. So everything was at Wrestling Scrubs. There was there was no pod, there was no TV, there was no nothing. Everything across the board on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube was at Wrestling Scrubs. And so the first time the circumvention policy happened, we created a backup email. Don't tell Google. And all the content that we had done got ripped off. Well, we appealed it and we got it back. And then lo and behold, like less than 3 days later, it got completely banned this time. They removed the whole channel. We lost everything. And it's a good thing we only had like, I think 60 subs at the time. Because if we'd have had like 10 million, I'd have been pissed. Especially with all the work that we've been doing behind the scenes trying to make this thing interesting. So from now on going forward, everything is going to be at The Wrestling Scrubs on all platforms, on Instagram, on Facebook, and YouTube. And then we're going to be on Spotify with this audio content, as well as your favorite podcast distribution outlets. And then who knows, going forward, maybe somebody will do like a TikTok or I don't really do TikTok or Snapchat or any of that stuff. It's not my bag. I stick with the main 3 because I watch a lot of wrestling on YouTube, which brings me to the next segment part, man. Like, you guys watch a lot of wrestling? Like, or are you working too damn much?
I mean, look, that's what DVR is for. That's
I was going to say, better yet, here's the better question. How do you consume your wrestling content?
Oh, I mean, through everything, even like quick little breaks, even through. Yeah. And I know my supervisor directors may not watch this, so thank you for not watching this. But even during meetings, right? So even during meetings, it's like, okay, just kind of have it on there. Check up what happened on Raw, check up what's going on SmackDown. Of course, the AEW stuff, Japan stuff, anything that's wrestling. Getting into all of that. MJF versus LFA2, even like that underground, hard to get. You got to be there. Right. Oh, yeah. So just every minute of the day that I have free time is not free because wrestling definitely consumes it.
Oh, yeah.
So, with everything. So, yeah, I even got my youngest son into it. So
you got any old like tapes or DVDs or something you like?
Oh man,
go to? I don't even think anybody has a DVD player anymore. But you got a collection of.
I mean, hey, look, if you got a PS5 or anything, you got a DVD player. All right, you got a Blu-ray.
That's true. That's true. I don't think people realize that though. They're like, oh, it's a disc, but yeah, like you could put DVDs and CDs in.
No,
I don't think anybody owns those anymore. I have an entire collection of like old TNA stuff from like 2002 to 2006.
Definitely go to my mom's house. I have about 2 boxes full of VHS tapes.
I actually have 2.
What are those?
Right.
He wants a VHS tape. Yeah, I actually have like in the closet in there, I have 2 of those plastic storage totes that are full of like Dragon Gate and Evolve and FIP and all of the World Wrestling Network, WWE and stuff. Pretty much if WWE consumed it, bought it, I have what it was before it was that.
Yes.
I have like the early matches of like Daniel Bryan and Tyler, Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
You know, like everything you could possibly think of. And a lot of that stuff doesn't belong to me. It belongs to John Davis, actually. And if you don't know that name, Google it. No, I'm not talking about the lead singer of Korn. That dude, John Davis, one of the best independent wrestling guys ever. He used to be my roommate, and he left a lot of stuff at the house. And so I just kind of like commandeered. The goal was to take all that stuff and digitize it for the students that he trains so that they have a library of things to watch, his old matches and stuff. So I'm in the process of doing that. So that's ultimately how I consume wrestling. But I try not to consume too much TV wrestling live because I am in the professional wrestling business. So I am just wrestled out by Monday. Yeah. You know, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, independent bookings, stuff like that. And then by Monday, I'm just like, dude, I just want to go to sleep, man. I'm so tired.
I mean, especially if you stay up for a Sunday night AEW event.
Pay-per-view?
Yeah.
Like, one of those like 3 a.m. 15 matches on the show.
Yeah. Never ends. Just never ends.
Shout out to you, Tony Khan, for being a wrestler's like booker. So that all right, cool. What's your favorite company to watch right now? Like, what's your favorite wrestling show and or company to check out?
I mean, for me personally, I mean, I've kind of been back and forth between SmackDown and Dynamite because personally, I feel like overall, right? I feel like overall, wrestling wise, like just pure wrestling match, you take a person off the street, you have them sit down and watch a wrestling match, right? Like AEW Dynamite can get that done, but then when you get into the story of everything, it's like, okay, WWE, specifically for me, SmackDown gets that done a little bit better. The whole Drew McIntyre issue.
I do like SmackDown a little bit better than Raw.
Yeah, you know, like Raw just feels very commercialized. Like, okay, we got the most popular people doing the most popular things, but why? Why are they doing this?
Yeah.
You know, they're just kind of there. You know, even with Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, right? Even with him being there, it's like, okay, hey, I like you there, but aren't you signed to SmackDown? You know, and then all of a sudden you're now trying to make Raw relevant. And I don't disagree with his words. You know, I don't disagree with my Tribal Chief.
Raw to the island of relevancy, man.
There you go.
Is there even an island anymore? Dude doesn't even have a family, has no wives, man. I mean, CM Punk said it best. Like, you're all alone. I'm partying with your cousins on the bus, man. Like,
I mean, look, we have about 6-7 weeks to see how that really works out for CM Punk. You know, but I mean,
it's gonna get real old, real
the family. The family may not be with him by his side, but they're always there in spirit.
Oh, he's just about to be side by side with his family. All right, when he gets buried next to his father. Shout out to CM Punk. That was one of the coldest lines in any promo I've seen since WrestleMania 29, when CM Punk took on the Undertaker with that urn and he started doing the pouring out.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, and it's no disrespect to Punk, it was just a sign that you were losing, right? Yeah. You know, as a person who has been. As a person who has been in verbal battles, verbal altercations, as well as physical altercations, when a person really goes low, it's like, okay, that was
the third grade equivalent of a your mama joke.
Correct. You know, it's like
I don't know.
You try to come back from the your mama.
I think the idea behind it, in my opinion, was to draw attention, and that's exactly what they did.
Oh yeah.
Am I wrong? Right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So SmackDown and Dynamite.
SmackDown, Dynamite. Those are my two.
Such a weird combo. Like Wednesdays and Fridays.
Right. You got to space it out a little bit more. You know, like I said, Mondays are good.
I can't really be mad because
Fridays.
I don't. To be honest with you, I haven't consumed any AEW content in probably a year for reasons we'll get into in a much later episode. But I think right now my favorite to watch, honestly, is Monday Night Raw. Just not only because of CM Punk, but because it's the easiest for me to consume. I have the Netflix app on my phone. I can watch it at any given time. Like with SmackDown, it's still on network TV, and you can watch it on Netflix if you know. Go watch Stephanie McMahon's podcast. You'll figure it out.
Right? I know. She told you.
She told you exactly how to do it without telling you exactly how to do it. Shout out to Surfshark. We should get a sponsorship from that VPN. Where you can switch your location to anywhere in the world.
Like, I mean, where are we right now?
Yeah.
All right.
Canada. No, so I think Monday Night Raw for me. And if I don't watch SmackDown or anything, that there's always YouTube. I spend probably 90% of my free time on YouTube, which is probably ridiculous for me. But when I'm not watching main TV wrestling, I'm watching like pro wrestling action because I am the commentator for pro wrestling action. So like I like to go critique my own work, come up with new jokes and things to say, and then like fix problems that I did the last one. So anybody who wants to listen to my actual work, pro wrestling action on YouTube, and then start last March and then go to every single show. There's like playlists all over. There's well over 100 matches now, I think you can hear. Plus there's River City Wrestling Con, USWA, where you can hear me, Styx, we'll talk about him in a little while, and then Sam, Euro, whatever you want to call him, who has helped behind the scenes with River City Wrestling Con. So your favorite, what's your favorite show to watch for wrestling?
Same thing as you. Like I said, Monday Night Raw, only because it's about to say easily TNA. Accessible. Like I said, Netflix. I have Netflix on my phone. SmackDown, Dynamite, I catch the highlights because who has cable TV anymore? It's hard to watch it. So I catch.
It's definitely hard to watch, but not for the reason you're.
Like I said, I do catch the highlights though. So, but the only show I actually sit and watch front to back is Monday Night Raw.
I don't even think I watch Monday Night Raw front to back. I think I just turn on Netflix while I'm at work and just let it play. And then when something happens, like last night was SmackDown. I was watching it and I didn't care about watching any of it until I found out that it was going to be Cody versus Drew for the WWE title. Like I know I said we weren't going to date it, but like, so we're not like, just in case you're watching this later.
Yeah.
Obviously you have, and it's already happened. You know that Cody won the WWE title for the third time, the only member of the Rhodes family to do it. But like that's not what necessarily this is about. What do you guys think about TNA? Nobody mentioned anything about TNA. What do you think about TNA of the old, TNA of the Hogan era, and TNA of the now?
I mean, specifically TNA now, it's not bad. It's just kind of like for me, kind of like a WWE light. Right?
You think so?
Kind of like a WWE light. And I don't know exactly, like I said, I don't know if that's bad or good. I guess as the kids would say, like, I just gotta let it cook. I gotta let it cook to see like what it's turning into, because
in no way.
Right. I mean, some of the stars used to have before, they're gone, of course, the Joes, the AJ Styles, stuff like that. They moved on doing their own thing.
Oh, the golden era of TNA for sure.
Right. The golden era, that was
6-sided ring.
Right. That was goated.
I hated that thing, by the way.
I mean, you have the wrestlers now in that organization, but then you have them go to AEW, you have them branch out to certain other little locations. So you're kind of like building it up again. So those guys kind of mixed with like the NXT talent. I understand, even with Joe Hendry, very popular TNA character face, he goes over to NXT. Jordan Grace, you had her for a good little bit. She goes over to NXT. Even Naomi going over to TNA for a little bit. She goes, of course, back over to the main roster. She goes back home. Now it's like we're learning this all over again for a new audience. So like I said, I'm kind of I gotta let it cook.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. And before we get into Sam's answer real quick, we're gonna interrupt this podcast for a second because cameras only have a 30-minute record limit, and we'll be right back after some random person shouts at you to do something, and then we'll be right back. And welcome back. So TNA, man, what do you think of it? Like past, present, future?
So we're talking Tess and Albert. No, just kidding.
Trish and Trish and Albert back then.
Yeah, TNA. Like I said, I don't watch much of the current product only because what is it on A&E?
AMC, I think. I think it's going to do with AMC, American AMC. Movie Classics. That's a fucking correlation between that is.
I mean,
glad they finally got a TV deal that everybody could watch. Shout out to them for that.
It means nothing now. Like, look at MTV. Do they even play music videos anymore? Like,
well, it's no longer in existence. But
that part.
So you don't really consume too much TNA content.
Like I said, I'm from it bouncing back and forth with all the channels and stuff. I remember watching it. Like I said, the 6-sided ring back when it was on. What was it, Spike TV, and it would come on like
2006 era.
And even like before that, like when they were still NWA TNA, when they had the yellow ropes,
the Wednesday night pay-per-views and stuff.
Yeah, like
or it was like $2 per show, and you'd watch it every week. If you didn't have $2, you were a brokey.
But just coming across it randomly on Comcast, like DirecTV, like 2 a.m.
Oh yeah,
like an old episode.
But before it was on Spike, it was on like FX Sports at like 2 a.m. or something like that.
That's when I first started watching it.
Fox Sports Net,
Right.
Skyview, whatever. Like, and then there was the internet clips. You download something from LimeWire,
Yes.
there'd be a random TNA clip in there or something. So for me, TNA, like I go back to that era. I go back to like the 2002 to 2004. Like they call those the asylum years. Before they moved into the Impact Zone. And I wasn't a big fan of the whole Yellow Ropes era of TNA, but once they started going into like, you know, AJ Styles won the NWA championship. That was like my first match I ever watched because my mom went to work one time, left me at home with a couple bucks.
Yeah, that's how it starts.
She got me a pay-per-view. And so I watched TNA. It was 2005 because I remember I watched that on a Wednesday. And then on Sunday in July, there was ECW's One Night Stand in 2005 for the first time ever. So not only did I get to watch like crazy, like new wrestling with some familiar faces and some new guys, high flying spots in a 6-sided ring, I got to see the resurgence of the very high potential of ECW at One Night Stand with one of the greatest shoot promos from Paul Heyman of all time. If you know, you know.
Yes.
But so that brings into the next topic, man. Who's your favorite wrestler currently, right now, or of all time? It doesn't matter. Like, who is your number one? Like, you know a lot about it. You could talk about like the greatest of all time in your head.
I mean, right now, currently wrestling, not greatest of all time, but currently wrestling, it's Roman Reigns. It's Roman Reigns. I mean, and it's not even close because like, and yes, I can admit there is some bias there with watching WWE a very, very, very long time, since birth, basically. I was in my mother's stomach watching wrestling, right? So the cinematic atmosphere that Roman Reigns brought it to, like every time this man is on Netflix and he tells you it's because of him and his family, it's true.
He's not wrong, man. The Samoan dynasty is, I think at this point in professional wrestling, better than the Hart legacy, better than the Von Erich legacy.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Because there's more of them. They've been around longer. They held more accolades.
Yes.
I mean, all the way from like the Head Shrinkers, the Wild Samoans, all the way up to the Bloodlines.
Yes.
Yeah. Like the Samoan dynasty is crazy. I mean, The Rock being technically the
even
first
High Chief, when we'll see you around.
Yeah. At that time, the youngest WWF champion at the time was The Rock, and then there was Yokozuna, who was portrayed as a Japanese guy, but he was part of the Samoan legacy too.
Fooled.
Yeah, and then one of the greatest Intercontinental champions of all time, in my opinion, Umaga. Also part of 3 Minute Warning, some of the greatest tag teams of all time.
With Roman's brother.
Yes, with Roman's brother, aka the superhero in training, SHIT.
Yes.
Rosie. And Umaga played Jamal. That's where the whole braids thing came from with Umaga, the transition. But no, man, so Roman Reigns is your guy?
It's the cinema.
You're not getting tired of the same old shtick every week. He comes out, acknowledge me. Like, that's how I feel about Cody right now.
Hey, look, I mean, Nikki Bella wasn't tired of John Cena with the missionary every single night. Okay. So it's the same thing with me and Roman. And I mean, he hasn't had the title since 40. We're going into 42, you know?
Jesus Christ.
So it's like, hey, he hasn't had the title on him since 40. So now him going into 42 as the challenger, putting CM Punk at that level, not once, but twice. CM Punk was in the WWE for X amount of years. How many main events? He comes back. Roman Reigns is there. Even if it's a night one, the first night, you're there with Roman. Yeah. Now you are going to get night 2 of WrestleMania being the absolute
match that closes
main
out the
event.
Weekend.
The
not
weekend.
Just the event,
not just the event. Exactly, the weekend. And who else is standing across from you? Roman Reigns. Right? Yeah. Roman Reigns is just that guy. That cinema.
And this will be the first time they go into a match without Paul Heyman or anybody by their sides. They're going in one-on-one by themselves, solo dolo. No Jimmy and Jay. No Paul Heyman. No Paul Heyman on the other side. No. I mean, AJ Lee might come out with Punk, but I doubt it because I think he'd want this moment for himself.
Correct. Yeah. I think she would want the moment for him.
Yeah. And her going into WrestleMania as the women's Intercontinental Champion.
There you go.
Dope, right?
She's already busy.
Right? Busy as hell with her own shit. That's like Seth and Becky doing their own thing, but coming together once in a while for a little tag team contest. What about you, man? Who's your go-to right now? And if you say Cody Rhodes,
well, no, I am a Cody fan, but he's not my top guy.
You're built like Cody Rhodes
for now. Actually, I am. He might be a little wider. But for me, it's Seth Rollins. That's my guy right now.
Ooh, good one.
The visionary.
Dude, I love Seth. I love how creative that man is. I love. He is, to me, this generation's Randy Orton. Like, he started a little rough, was on the verge of being kicked out the door, and then just did a full 180 and became one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And I don't even like the guy, but I'll say he's one of the greatest of all time. Easily, I'd say top 5 of all time.
Yeah.
On anybody's Mount Rushmore. And if you say he's not, you're a liar. Seth Rollins, huh?
I will compare him to Shawn Michaels, actually.
Ooh, okay. I can see
That's
that.
a strong comparison.
I can see that, though.
Would you say that Shawn Michaels is one of the greatest of all time? Because I wouldn't.
Well,
okay, is that because you're a Bret Hart fan, or that's just?
I hate. Are you kidding me?
to me, see, my greatest of all time is
Bret Hart.
See, that's funny because my greatest of all time is Bret, number 1.
Excellence of execution, right there.
That's right. So
totally not a signed Bret Funko Pop right here.
Hates the guy. He hates the guy.
Right.
So
this was a gift from Bret himself.
All right, can I have it?
No.
See, there you go.
I'm saying it was a gift.
Hates the guy.
One of the greatest accomplishments of all time that I ever got to do was at River City Wrestling Con. I, using my ring announcer chops, got to introduce the excellence of execution, Bret the Hitman Hart, and this was a gift that got signed by Bret Hart and given to me. And as much as I still don't dislike him as much as I hate Ric Flair. And that's another story we'll get into.
I was going to say, that's another story. That's another story.
That was kicked off the air.
That's another story.
Fired from several places. So yeah, I was gonna say Seth Rollins, but I'll let you have that one. No. So right now, oh shit, for me, in terms of like just the greatest person that I could follow, it's a catch up of 2. And one is definitely more popular than the other, but I feel like the other one has potential to catch up to him, even though he's in a different company. My number 1 go-to is obviously CM Punk. Like big CM Punk. I'm talking like way back in the day, IWA, Mid-South. I'm talking like Ring of Honor. I love CM Punk because we relate a lot on certain things, and being the rebellious nature. For all intents and purposes, 2 guys never should have made it, right? On the other hand, I'm a huge fan of MJF.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm glad for that pick. Yes.
I remember before AEW ever started that when I was watching MLW, I remember he cut a promo in the ring, and I forget against who it was, but I stopped. I paused. It was on YouTube. I paused it and I said, this dude's going to get signed. This dude's going somewhere. This guy is going to be absolutely one of the greatest of all time. And then when he got to AEW, I was like, this is fucking awesome. This guy's promo skills are great. He's a good wrestler. Then he left and reinvented himself and did the whole devil gimmick. Then he left again and came back, and he was jacked and in the best shape of his life. Yeah. And then he left and came back and did all the little bit of comedy stuff with Adam Cole. And I mean, even now with him being, he's a 2-time AEW champion. I think he's the current champion right now. And just on a monumental run. Yes. And I remember like the whole idea of him possibly leaving in 2024 to go sign with WWE excited me, but I don't think he could be MJF in WWE, which makes me like him even more, because as long as he's in AEW, I enjoy that, his content and watching the stuff he does outside of the ring when he's like doing interviews with Chris Van Vliet or like anybody. Shout out to CVV. Man, MJF. Yeah, MJF and CM Punk are my 2 follows right now. So like when I got to watch that feud in AEW, the kid in me just like was jumping up and down. Okay.
CM Punk, right? I know you asked about Roman doing the same thing, right? I like Punk. Punk is cool. It just gets a certain point where I'm looking at him and I turn into Drew McIntyre.
I like Punk. Punk is cool.
And I'm just like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
You don't believe what? It's wrestling, bro. It's still real to me.
I mean, it's real. With Punk, I'm looking at him and I really do believe he should go on a retirement tour. I really believe Roman should put him on that retirement tour.
I disagree, bro.
He's done. He's tired. I mean, what was more tiring? He works for children, right? I believe that 100%.
One of the greatest non-promos.
100% believe that.
I will say that I was more of a fan of Punk back, the first run that he had, the
Kill Switch Engage era.
Yeah, like I mean, even back to Ring of Honor, like I said, Kill Switch Engage, ECW days, going all the way to the 434, the title reign. Yeah, but then like I said, this comeback now is just like I said, I don't dislike him, but I'm not as big a fan as I was.
I think my draw towards CM Punk is the fact that I feel like in my real life and in my business life, I can kind of relate to a lot of the stuff that he says. Like his first run in WWE from like 2006 to 2014 was a absolutely monumental, like Mount Rushmore of a run, like one of the most legendary things. And no matter how good you are, and this is something that I personally relate to, especially right now in my life, no matter how good you are, how talented you are, how many skills you possess, how many accolades you're holding the belt for 434 days, main eventing with The Undertaker at WrestleMania 29 or whatever you want to call it, you're just not good enough to be the guy. You know what I mean? And I mean, his run in 06 in ECW was great. His stuff being pulled up for Survivor Series to team with, I think it was the Hardys and DX for a Survivor Series match or something like that. Absolutely great shit. The Straight Edge Society, shaving people's heads and being the Messiah before Seth Rollins was ever the Messiah. Great shit. And no matter how many times he reinvented himself, even with the Nexus run and stuff like that, and then eventually like taking out John Cena in the pipe bomb, no matter how good you are, no matter how much effort you put into it, no matter how much media you do. I mean, his pipe bomb might have been a work shoot or whatever, but it rang true. Like no matter how good you are, I'm not good enough to be on the signature of your show. I'm not even good enough to be on these little papers you get at the beginning. So I related to that. And then for him to like fuck off and disappear for 10 years, right? And then we thought he was going to come back to WWE when he got signed to, what was that Fox show? Like The Bump or some shit like that, whatever it was, with Soraya Page when she came back. That music hit and I'm like, oh shit, this is the beginning of, SmackDown had just got on Fox.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, we might get Punk back in WWE. Like nothing is impossible at this point, because if Bret Hart can come back after everything that happened, Punk can come back, right?
Yeah.
And then like four more years went by and nothing happened, man. And then that fateful night in 2021.
Yeah. You mean in Chicago?
In Chicago.
Right.
Chicago. Okay.
That music rang out, and it was all on a rumor. They sold out the Chicago arena on a rumor.
Yes.
On AEW's C show, I think at the time, right? Like it was Rampage.
Yeah.
It was like, it wasn't even their main, it wasn't even Dynamite. It was their second, I think it was like what? It was Rampage, right?
Yeah.
I believe so,
Rampage.
Yeah.
And
Rampage.
it was just a rumor. There were no dirt sheets out there saying, yeah, CM Punk's in the building. And then no photographers ruined it beforehand.
No.
The show starts, the lights are like, everybody's like CM Punk, and they wait. I love that part about AEW's production. They just waited about 25, 30 seconds of CM Punk chants. And then that the alternative like TV, boom, boom, and then the music hits. And that arena came off its hinges.
Yeah.
And after 10 years of being gone, to have that kind of star power is fucking insane. That's why I like CM Punk.
I mean, it's just, for me, he gives me hope being a dad, knowing that I can still whoop my children. Right? Because I see this man and he looks like so dad, right? Like very, very daddish. Yeah. And then, like you said,
he's basically wrestling dad now to a lot of people. So
right, and he just goes out and he whoops people. So that's why I said I like that aspect from him. Should he be beating a Drew? Should he be beating a Roman? Should he be going over some of these other people?
Yes. Have you ever seen a drunk dad in a bar fight?
I mean, yes. See, but that's what I'm saying. That's part of the inspiration for me that Punk gives to me. But at the same time, it's like when I walk around, you said in your personal life, right? As I walk around my personal life, it's like, okay, that Roman story, how you said, he made his life way more difficult. People wanted him to be the one. WWE pushed Roman, where Roman clearly was not ready, right? Okay, no disrespect, Tribal Chief. You were not ready, right? You deserved that ability to build. They did not give that to you. Punk made it harder, right?
Believe that.
100%, right? He beats The Undertaker in what was not a great Undertaker match, right? But he stands there, looks around the crowd, and he just says, it's my yard.
This is my yard now. Drops the mic.
Done.
After almost 25 minutes of the crowd booing him out of the
silence.
building.
Oh, yeah. Silence. Kicks off the show Rob, that way.
We went to that WrestleMania. I was there live for that.
Oh.
And so when we got home on Monday, we were watching Raw because we were anticipating the moment with Roman Reigns and stuff like that. And we were talking about, like, what can you say? You just beat the fucking Undertaker. Right. Even though you weren't the first person to defeat the Undertaker, there would be like two more after that would go on to defeat him. But like, what do you say? And I remember looking at Rob before we even turned it. It was like 6 p.m. I was like, if he doesn't just look at the camera and say, it's my yard now, and drop it and walk away, he's got nothing. You're going to lose. Like that. They're not going to believe you. If you're going to be a heel, you got to lean into it and you got to piss this crowd off. And you just killed off one of the greatest of all time, because after that match, that was one of the matches where Taker left his hat and boots in the ring.
Yeah.
He was ready to go.
He was done.
That was it.
Yeah.
And Roman Reigns was the guy that killed that. Yeah, Brock beat him.
Yes.
But he didn't kill him. He came back for the Cena match, the Bray Wyatt match, and eventually the AJ match. But like, that was supposed to be the moment. He was done.
Yeah.
And so when that happened on live TV, I was like, I fucking told you. It's like, I could write this shit. It's like, it's predictable, but no, going back to, I could see why you like Roman so much. Like, he does have the mass appeal. Like, are you a blue-eyed Roman fan?
Oh gosh.
Are you a goatee Roman fan?
I mean, look, I like Roman since the beginning, since CM Punk didn't pick him, right?
Oh, so you were a Leia Key fan.
Like from the beginning, and just kind of like, you see this guy, and of course he has a build. You see, you know when guys have that look, right?
You were a fan when they were trying to make him Roman Flair with the Rolexes and the suits.
Yeah, ridiculous. But I'm glad that they did not go that way at all. I'm glad that they didn't, right?
Was that FCW? Have you seen where he's like,
yes.
Slap yourself?
Yeah.
Suffer and succotash.
Some bad Roman. Bad Roman.
Roman has, I like Roman, and I definitely have a lot of respect for him, because that dude had to go through hell. That promo he said where CM Punk made his life a living hell is definitely like true. Yes. I mean, dude, 2014, the whole Royal Rumble thing, like, we wanted him to win, and he didn't get it. He got thrown out, and then the next year he wins, and we're booing him out of the building because we wanted it. He wouldn't give it to us. He was ready. But then I'm glad that those moments happened, because all the way up until like 2018, he wasn't ready. Yeah, no. I don't think, like, I think he was a good mid-card character, but he wasn't ready.
Yeah,
like, to go to Mania. Like, he won the title a couple times. It got taken off of him. Then I think there was one point in time where he got like popped for drug. He had Adderall or something like that.
I know he had
a 30-day drug suspension or something like that. Well, and then when he
something
came back,
like that,
title, and then John Cena, you look at it like it's a demotion.
Right.
Yeah.
So to see what he went through from the beginning all the way to the end, man, like 100%, man. Roman's the guy. But greatness on a different level.
But he fought for it.
God mode now.
Like, I'm glad that they put out those God mode t-shirts. Like, that was great. The design could have been better, but that's another story. As
somebody who designs graphics, it pissed me off. Because you say it's God mode, but it's greatness on a different. That's God level. So it's Goddle now. Like that part pissed me off because of how it was like. I get it. It's nitpicky shit, but
it's like USA. You got that little of at the bottom. US of A.
What about you, man? Like, fellow Shield member Seth Rollins. Why?
Well, like I said, I mean, comparing him to Punk and Roman, he's the only guy that's actually been consistent. So, like how you said, Roman had a rough start. Punk had a good run, then had to reinvent himself over and over again. Seth has just been consistent. I mean, from day one since the Shield days, and his resume, I mean, alone speaks for itself. Beating guys like Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Sting, John Cena, all in the Authority days.
That WrestleMania cash in to this day is still one of the greatest moments in the history.
Oh yeah,
the way he just that music hits in the middle of the match and he just runs down.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like I said, he's the only guy that's been consistent. From day one. Same thing. With him being injured, every time he comes back, he gets that pop. Also reinventing himself.
Him coming back as the Masked Man was crazy. Sorry if I spoiled that for you. But just like him taking the mask off and whacking Paul Heyman in the chair and then with stomping him and the crowd popping, like you were just a heel. You were literally only he could do that kind of one.
Yes,
several times.
Yes,
the stuff he did with Sting when he was the double champion, when he was a U.S. champion and WWE at the same time. The statue thing. I will give credit where credit's due. Seth Rollins is definitely one of the greatest of all time, but I need you two to remember that Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns would not have a job right now if it wasn't for the one, the only who brought in the Shield.
There you go.
Punk.
I mean, he like Roman said, he didn't pick him. He didn't pick Roman. Okay, he didn't pick him.
Guys.
But let me ask you guys something real quick.
Go for it.
So as we see Seth Rollins characters like that kind of just be who they are, and depending upon how we feel as the audience, right? We either embrace them or we kind of push them away, or we love to boo them, hate to love them, love to hate them, right? Do you think wrestling is more so moving in that direction where it's like we don't have a specific heel villain. We just got guys that we just boo, we cheer, you know, we love them. I like Cody is kind of borderlining that for me right now. Roman is definitely walking that line.
I'm gonna let you answer this one first because I have a theory about this. I'm glad you asked that question. It's a very good one.
Yeah, I definitely do believe we're shifting towards that side of things because I mean, just look back at the promo with Punk and Roman. Punk, I mean, he's telling him, "I'm going to bury you next to your father," and people are cheering, going crazy. It's like that just seems like a heel thing to do, though. Like, as a face, I don't think you say that. You know, you're supposed to be like John Cena, like hustle, loyalty, respect. You know, that whole stuff. But
I ain't here to make friends. I'm here to make money. That man drew 10 million in an hour.
Yeah.
So I definitely believe we are shifting towards, just like I said, just cheering, booing, whatever you want. But I don't think we have heels and faces as much as we did back in the day.
Right. I'll agree with you there. Yeah. I believe we're in a different era, and I hate when they call it the Triple H era because I'll give you a prime example of exactly what you just asked.
Which era are we talking about?
The one that we're in right now. I believe that this era is the fan era. They are getting into the point of entertainment where they realize the fans aren't stupid. We all have smartphones. We all have the internet. We all read dirt sheets. Things leak all the time. And the fans, I think like Cyber Sunday would be a great pay-per-view now.
Yes.
Definitely. Versus back in 2006. Yes. And for instance, the reason why I wanted to answer this question was because the fans cheer and boo who they think can take it and thrive. And then when they earn it, they pop. Yes. Perfect example. Dominic Mysterio winning the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania.
Yes.
That man got booed out of every fucking building he was in for the first couple of years of his career. Had matches with Brock Lesnar, still got booed. Got his ass beat by his own father, still got booed.
Yes.
The man enters a match with one of the greatest luchadors of all time in Penta and a couple of other people who are probably more deserving of that Intercontinental Championship. Wins it. And then the production team has to tell him to go back to the ring to celebrate because the crowd finally was like, we like him. He stuck around. He took our shit. He earned it. That's the era that we're in.
And now we boo him out of respect. It's not even like we truly dislike him.
His boos are like the Kurt Angles, you suck.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a sign of adulation.
Correct.
But also, I'm going to ask you a question in the same context of the question you asked and the way I answered. LA Knight.
Yeah.
That's the question. LA Knight.
Okay. LA Knight.
Yeah.
Definitely deserves a shot at the main title. I think you can pull it off with him with what we're doing right now. Okay. So I'm sorry, Oos. I'm gonna look you now when I say this, and I'm so sorry to say this. You already know where I'm going. We gave Jey Uso a chance, right? We gave Jey Uso a chance, right? And Jey Uso has a gimmick. His wrestling, his moves based upon his family. I'm not going to shout out any names. Just go and watch, right? The biggest thing people say Jey Uso has is the whole yeeting and stuff, which he has been doing with his brother for the longest through the whole entire bloodline run. But okay, we acknowledge it
which
now.
Which he stole from independent wrestlers, by the way.
Okay, right. But,
Adam?
another story. But if we can do that with Jey Uso, why can't we do it with LA Knight? And I think it would work better with LA Knight because we have a person who is an actual singles competitor. Where Jey Uso is coming with his brother. He had to learn certain things. He got blown out. We seen it on Unreal, right?
He kept getting drunk.
The intros.
Every fucking press conference, this dude is loaded.
So it's like, if you can do that with Jey Uso, you can easily do that with LA Knight. Because Jey Uso, we didn't really ask for it.
Oh, we did for a minute.
Right.
It was one of those executed too late situations. Like,
correct.
As soon as he kicked Roman in the face,
correct.
He should have been the guy to dethrone Roman.
Then we wanted him to do it. That was it. But LA Knight, we've been asking for it for a while. We really want this for a while. We've been asking for it down at NXT. We wanted him to be the guy. He got the $1 million championship. He comes up to the main roster.
Eli Drake.
Exactly.
Right.
Eli Drake, he comes up. He had to survive. Speaking of surviving bad, characters, he goes off as Max Dupree. Right? And
what?
He survives that absolute garbage of a character.
But it did give us Maxine Dupree.
It did. And are they even still related? I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Figure that out for us, right?
All gas, no brakes with it. If you know, you know.
But LA Knight, you can put the title on him, and what's the worst that can truly happen?
He fails.
Yeah, but a lot of champions fail.
At least we'll know.
And I'll tell you why. I disagree with that theory, because we're approaching one of the greatest seasons of professional wrestling of all time. And I'm not talking about WrestleMania. I'm talking about that Monday night after WrestleMania, which means that no matter who comes out holding what title, whether it be Roman and Punk with the world title, or whether it be Randy and Cody, sorry if I spoiled that for you, with the undisputed title, whoever holds one of those titles, if that LA Knight music does not hit and he does not come out and make his stake at the claim to be the next in line for one of those two titles and does not get a generational run, it's over. Like it's too late in the game. I feel like he will go down like the Razor Ramon, the Roddy Piper, the Dustin Rhodes, like one of the greatest to never get the big one.
See, but with Razor Ramon, we got to a point very quickly, especially in that WCW run, where it was kind of like, okay, do we really put the title on him? Do we really put the title on him? Right? Like all the stuff that was going on, that was happening with him. LA Knight, I feel, is just, we still have more time. I agree with you. We don't have much time, but we definitely have more time. I mean, look at the John Cena run, right? We talk about failure, right? Absolute failure. Absolutely. The greatest part was the night one, the turn at Chamber. Was the turn at Chamber. Outside of that, and I said it to Sam at work, I was like, we don't need John Cena turning heel. That is the one thing we do not need. We should have got
that in like 2010.
That we were too little too late.
After The Rock beat his ass at Mania, we should have got it then.
That was the time. We did not need a heel run at this point. We just did it because the fans wanted it. We had never seen it before. And that's why I say fast forward to the Jey Uso thing. Okay, cool. We got it. That was take it or leave it as is. LA Knight can truly turn into something. That can turn into something, especially for the nostalgia fans, right? We remember the whole, what? Then they say he acts like The Rock and Stone Cold had a baby, right? We put them together, right? So why not just feed into the nostalgia for a little bit of time? With
everybody saying
LA Knight.
Yeah.
Right? We got this.
So I feel like you don't really talk too much, probably because me and him are getting like a little over passionate. Like, what are your thoughts on LA Knight, man? Because you seem to be like the very neutral kind of person. Like, what do you think about LA?
No, I agree with I don't know which one's the other Brandon, but
vanilla and chocolate. Okay?
Yeah, I'm vanilla.
So, like I said, I agree with him as far as goes. Why not give him a chance?
I mean, he can't do no worse than Jey Uso, man.
Right.
I feel bad for saying that because I like Jey.
Yes.
But I feel like Jey was nothing without the bloodline. If I'm being honest, like shout out to Roman. He elevated a lot of people with that damn bloodline.
Right.
We wouldn't have Solo. We wouldn't have Jacob in the Tongans. We wouldn't have nothing without Roman. So shout out to him for that. But we also wouldn't have had the great moments with Jey Uso that made us love him to catapult him into those moments. We wouldn't have had the super kick to Roman. We wouldn't have had him be the only person besides Cody to pin Roman in like 5 years. We wouldn't have had a lot of that generational run that made the fans love him so much. Be like, yeah, let's give him a chance. And then he's like the disappointing son. Like, I hate to say it, but like you give him so many chances and like he shows up drunk to parties. He's not doing the press. You get him in the ring and he's already blown up before he even gets in the ring because he's doing a bunch of this bullshit with other people's 6-year-olds.
Awesome. I mean, he yeeted in the Survivor Series, right?
Yeah. He yeeted in the middle of the match.
He yeeted in the middle of the match.
Oh, yeet, motherfucker.
Lil Jon would be proud, and then even so much so, he gets into the ring at the Rumble with Roman, right? Starts trying to sit there and do the whole yeet. Roman's like, yeah, run it back.
And then Roman bitch slapped him.
No, you don't run it back. This is serious.
Those are the moments I like with Roman.
100% agree. And that's one of those times where it's like, okay, I get that could kind of be taken as like a heel thing to do. But at the same time, you have that one family member that you're like, look, I love you, but come on, guy.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, I agree, man.
I didn't really like him doing it in the middle of the War Games match. That's more of like a Rumble thing, how Rikishi did it back with Too Cool in that 2000 Royal Rumble. Say, Jey Uso comes in the ring, he throws out everyone, he's the last man in the ring. That's when you run it back. But as far as like in the middle of a match, I'm not really a fan of that one.
I also think it doesn't help Jey Uso's run that his dad likes to run his mouth a lot on his own podcast.
Ooh.
Rikishi.
That's another thing. Why not?
Like, I mean, look at us, what we're doing right now. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but like, it feels a little different when it's your son.
Yes.
Like, why isn't my son getting a chance and then he gets a chance and blows it? Why isn't my son doing this and then he gets a chance and blows it? Why is my son doing this? Then goes to a press conference drunk as shit.
I would say that's another thing. Why not give Jimmy a chance? I mean, how many times has this guy showed up?
Why not give Solo a chance?
Exact Solo, even a better pick.
Solo's one of my favorite Usos.
Right. Solo,
I don't know if you've ever seen the footage of Solo like after shows when he gets to break character.
Oh yes,
Solo's great.
Oh yes,
yes.
Solo's funny as shit.
Let Solo be Solo. Right. Like you did with Roman during the COVID era, and you just let Roman be Roman.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Let Solo be Solo.
Like wreck everything and leave. I like that.
Right.
Yes.
Well, that's kind of like what I wanted to happen with LA Knight. I wanted that dude to just show up like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right.
You guys are already making the comparisons. Let him show up and just start
raise hell,
BFT everybody and leave. Show up in a pickup truck. Run that shit into the ring.
I think we're kind of getting hints of it now. Like these last few episodes of Raw. Like, did you see when he like drove the ambulance off and
kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, but it doesn't hit as hard. Like, bitch, I want to see a Zamboni. I want to see a milk truck. I mean, at least a beer truck.
I at least want to see him beat up the ambulance first and steal it. Right. I don't want to just like show me him steal it, because with Stone Cold we watched him wreak havoc on the police.
Yeah. We also saw it with Scott Hall when the NWO came back to WWF and they took out the Rock with the semi.
Yes.
And the ambulance.
That's why I said we're getting hints of it. But
like, we've seen all of this shit before, and we're getting like little speckles of like the attitude era in LA Knight. LA Knight to me feels like he would have thrived in the attitude era, but he also probably would have drowned it too, because there's a lot of people that were exactly like that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna agree with you to disagree. I'm gonna say we should give LA Knight a chance, but if we don't execute quickly, if like the Monday after WrestleMania, we got 6 weeks. If the Monday after WrestleMania they don't put him in a program, like that's it. I don't want to deal with it no more. I think give the guy the Intercontinental title, let him get a generational run with it, let him have like a Miz era run with the IC title, and then just call it. Like, dude, you're what, 45? By the time Mania happens, you'll probably be like, what, 46? What you got? Like, he's in great shape. Yeah. He's in better shape than me. Like, I'm literally 10 years younger, and I'm fat and floppy. But he's in much better shape than most of the guys that have gotten runs, with the exception of Cody in his bodybuilding era where he pulled his titty. But I mean, fuck, Bray Wyatt wasn't in the greatest shape. He left and came back in great shape, but there was health complications there that we didn't see that were underneath the surface. Jey Uso went from being skinny to fat to skinny to fat again, and now he's kind of like in between both. CM Punk's dad bod from hell. I mean, he's in shape, but he's dad bod. I mean, a lot of the guys couldn't hold a candle to the physique. The only one who matches him is Drew McIntyre.
Right, and he's younger.
He looked like shit in the beginning years.
Yes. See, now with that being said, like LA Knight, let's say not even after Mania, right? Let's say we give whoever has a title after Mania, we give him a nice little run. Who does LA Knight take the title off of? Or who would you like to see him take the title off of? I like Drew initially.
That bears the question. Like,
I thought it was Drew.
Right.
I thought LA Knight was the perfect person to take the title off of Drew. Drew goes into Mania, defeats whoever the person is. LA Knight eventually takes it off of him. Yeah. Now with Cody, and potentially, Randy Orton being champion, and the other side you have Punk and you have Roman.
I'm going to take your question and I'm going to repurpose it. And I'm going to give it to you because I want to hear your opinion on this. Like, right now, Roman, Punk, Cody, Drew, and let's put Randy Orton in there. Like, these guys can only last so long, and the belts can only go back and forth so long. So, who's next? If not LA Knight, who's next?
So you're talking just from those guys you just mentioned, or? I mean, honestly, I think Randy's a good choice that you mentioned. Like, I'm glad he's finally getting the opportunity to get that 15th title.
I would love if Randy wins.
But
this would be his 16th, wouldn't it?
15th.
Is it his 15th? I thought it was already 15th.
But the only thing about that is I wish he would have taken it off of Drew, because what was the point of putting the title back on Cody?
Legacy.
Just for him to lose.
Yeah, story.
Long-term storytelling, which they think we're not privy to, but we are, and we get it. Like Triple H. Come on, dog. Really?
Oh, okay.
You couldn't have at least waited another pay-per-view like Roadblock, like the pay-per-view before Mania. Like you had to give it to us on a SmackDown.
I just felt like it was kind of forced, you know. Not saying that we didn't want the Randy match.
And you could have at least made it funny with like Danhausen coming out and cursing Drew.
Drew, yeah.
Like that,
Right.
right?
You did with Dominic.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
all right, so going back to the question, like I look at it like this. I'll propose the question like this. You had Hulk Hogan generation, right? You
Yeah.
had Bret Hart generation. You had like Stone Cold and The Rock kind of sharing a generation. And then you had John Cena.
Yeah.
And now you're in the Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Who's next? It ain't gonna be Jay.
Ooh.
Definitely has to be somebody younger.
And I don't think that LA Knight has the longevity. I thought it would have been AJ Styles, but 10 years went by way too quick.
Okay, can I propose something? I know pretty young in this, but I like where we're going. I like Trick Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Trick Williams.
You surprised me with that one. I think I would surprise you with mine.
He has the longevity. You know, he has the whole, of course, the catchphrase, whoop that trick. I'm not expecting it to be, forever. You know, he has to actually put in the work, the wrestling. I like that. I feel like Obafemi seems more Brock Lesnar-ish to me.
Yep.
Right. So that's why I wouldn't pick him. Carmelo is another good pick. I'm sorry, I'm stepping you guys' toes real quick. But for me, Trick Williams is that guy that he's like The Rock. He's
That's
like
a solid pick. I didn't
person who
I didn't really think of that.
who can come
Solid
in and
pick.
be your heel when you need to be your good guy when you need to be. He can kind of play both sides of the fence, like how we had The Rock do,
Yeah.
and even Stone Cold to a certain degree.
Shout out Trick Williams.
Right. So Trick Williams, I like that.
And
Look at the run he's had.
He's already
so
got the
far,
gimmick,
right?
man.
I said, look at the run he's had, only being what,
Right. Lemon pepper steppers.
being a month on the main roster. Like I said, he's already had multiple main event spots.
Has it only been a month?
I mean,
give or take,
Yeah.
not that long. Yeah.
I think the best part about his month on the roster and him being a big star like he is, I mean, whoop that trick is Oliver ran into
and
it.
that too. He gets.
But the funny
pops.
thing was he was a sidekick to Melo for so long, and Melo had the whole Melo don't miss. Melo has done nothing but miss since he's been on the
Right.
roster. Trick
Right.
Williams is in almost the main event
Right.
And that's what I was
already
gonna say.
in 1 month.
compared to
That's a solid pick,
look,
dog. I give you that
compared
one.
to the guys that get called up from NXT and usually not thriving like they did on NXT. Trick is a good
It's hit or
pick,
miss, brother. That's
Yeah.
a good pick,
Yeah.
though.
I mean, they could be to save Carmelo, right? They could be a Shawn Michaels and Diesel situation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They could turn into that. Right now, they are not. Clearly, Trick Williams is the Shawn Michaels, right? He's the one that is high up there. That's more Michaels Jannetty. That's what they're looking at right
Yeah.
now. But they could turn into Diesel, right? It could get their,
Yeah,
Mello,
they could leave and go to AEW and start the NWO or the OWN.
something, right? Something, right? But yeah, that would be my pick.
That's
But
a
from you
solid ass
guys,
pick, though. What about you? Like, who's next?
I was gonna say to me, it's a tie between probably Dom or Braun Breaker.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Both of those are mine.
Oh, yeah.
But I have a third, too. So, you son of a
I
bitch.
just see a lot of potential in those guys.
The promo that Braun Breaker cut against CM Punk was the only time I'd ever
Yeah.
rooted against Punk. I was like, that he fucking got him because it seemed like he broke kayfabe there for a second. He's like, hold on, man. You held me down. You wanted to give me advice. So you want the real, like he broke that character. And that
Yes.
I stopped for a second. I took my hat off. I was like, yo, that felt real.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
he's like, I'm going to make you my bitch.
yes.
And dude, yeah.
And I
solid
wanted
shit.
it so bad. So bad I wanted
And
it.
he's in shape. He's young.
Yes. And it would have made sense
If
to
he
put the
wins
title on him.
he'll break the record, I think, for being the youngest world champion. I think.
It makes
But
sense.
they got to do it within, I think, the next year.
Yeah. They don't have
It's
much
got to
time.
be the next year.
No, they don't have much time.
You stole it right from me. No, I was going to toss it up a little bit. I was going to say Dominic or Braun Breaker,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure if his time has passed or if he hasn't gotten enough time yet. Finn Balor.
Hmm.
That dude is well-rounded, can cut promos, talented wrestler. After we saw the matches he had in whatever country they were in with the CM Punk shit. And the matches that he has are just crazy. Like his character work, the first ever Universal Champion, or was it? Yeah, Universal.
Yeah,
title.
Universal. Yep.
The Demon character, his
Yep.
stuff in NXT, his stuff in Japan. Like, and I believe he's fairly young. I think he's still young enough to have at least
he's 40.
Yeah, he's in his 40s.
Is he in his 40s?
LA Knight. He's got a 5-year head start.
Yeah, he's in
I
his
think
40s.
he probably would have like a good 5-year generational run if they kind of get. But he doesn't fit the mold. He's too small.
What about here's another one, might be controversial. So like you said, we're talking about Hogan, how I went to how I went to Rock, Austin, going Cena, Roman. What about Logan Paul? He's still young. A lot of guys know him outside of wrestling.
I did not even think of that.
See,
Holy shit, dude.
I
hate that he's so good.
Look,
I'm a Logan fan.
Fucking hate that he's so good.
And I drink Prime.
Well, I hate Prime. I like Gatorade better. I hate that he's so good, dude.
See, and that's what makes him great. Like, we're in that era, as we spoke about earlier, where it's like, you love to hate them, hate to love them. You're just rooting and cheering based upon the person. It doesn't matter what they do. Because Logan Paul came out at first, babyface character, right? We booed the crap out of him. He even spoke about it on his podcast. It was hard to get over. He wanted to be good.
I feel like he's one of those, like Logan Paul's one of those people who couldn't be a babyface.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was a natural asshole.
He didn't know that, right? Which was weird to me. I'm like, my God, you went into Japan and caused a stir. How are you not realizing you are a villain? Like, just naturally, right?
Naturally a villain.
Naturally a villain, right? But it's like you wanted to be the hero. You spoke about how it hurt your feelings, and now you're just embracing it, right? Yeah. And I don't think he's doing a great job.
Turned his back on Cleveland.
Right. I don't think he's doing a great job per se. Like, he's not doing anything that really makes me go, oh man, look at that Logan Paul. It's just that he's just being himself. And it's easy just to boo him for him being himself. The jealousy, you could call it.
Yeah.
The talent that he has. Like you said, you just hate how good he is. This man came out of nowhere. YouTube.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that YouTube is nowhere. I would say that Logan Paul.
Well, I mean, like athletic base
off to build his name, and then came in as a celebrity and surprised everybody. Like, he was almost as surprisingly good as Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny did a fantastic job, and even Jelly Roll, as much controversy as Jelly Roll is getting right now.
Yeah. Well, he might be Chris with the B. We might not even be able to talk about him in a little bit.
No, man. Like, listen, I'm not going to hate on Jelly Roll for anything he's done. Like, I believe people could change, but that's not the topic of this podcast or conversation. We'll get into that for another episode. But you stole it right from me, you fucking bastard. No, Logan Paul is a good one. I don't know. Let's brainstorm and think, like, who really does have next, man? Because it's got to be LA Knight's up exactly next, but I don't think he's going to have that generational run of the Hogan, the Bret Hart, the Stone Cold and Rock, the John Cena, the Roman. You know what I mean? Like, these are guys who have like 10 plus years at the top of their game.
Yeah. I mean, I do like that Balor pick for what it's worth, right?
Yeah.
I like that because we know Roman doesn't have much time. We know Punk is eventually going to be done. He doesn't have much time. Like you said,
when you really think about it, The Rock and Stone Cold didn't have long. They just didn't.
They didn't. Like,
Stone Cold didn't get big until 97 and ducked out around 2003.
Yes.
And then The Rock came in and didn't get big until 99 and then ducked out even earlier than that. He was gone by 01, 02.
Right. He does a few Scorpion Kings and he's done.
WrestleMania 20 to help freaking Mick Foley at WrestleMania 20.
Right.
Yeah. 04. So
that Balor pick is very valid. You know you're good. That Balor pick is very valid just because of the points that you just made right there. Like, that is very, very valid.
But you have to be given the shot. And right now, I just don't think we're in a position to give him. I mean, I think the Judgment Day stuff is killing him. I think that Punk was kind of leaning towards the, hey, you don't need them with his promos. And Judgment Day went from being like some dark brooding, like the Brood 2.0 to like the Cholo crew.
Man,
I mean,
it's like angry teenagers
now, bro. He's got his baggy sweats on, with his Nikes, and he's rolling with two Latinas. He's got
that's a good way to roll. Okay,
I'm not even sure what nationality Liv Morgan is, but she's got the greatest real name of all time.
She's
Liv Morgan's real name is Gianna Daddio.
Italian, Italian.
Daddio.
Look,
why are you not using that one?
Shout out Jimmy Hart.
See, that's the type of name that if you marry her, I would just take her last name. I want to be called Daddio. That's dope.
Brandon Daddio.
That's dope.
Daddio.
Daddio. Right? Hey there, Daddio. You know, I love that. But
yeah, dude. No, I can't think of anybody else on the roster. I mean, there's a couple guys who are up and coming in NXT that I could see probably like, but I don't like Ricky Saints. I'm not a big Ricky. I wasn't a Ricky Starks fan. I'm not a Ricky Saints fan. And anybody who was in NXT that I would go for is on the main roster now. Obafemi would have been my pick.
Yeah.
And then you got Trick Williams. Those would be the two I would go with because of they both possess two things you need each in this business: charisma and size.
Yes.
And they both have that. 6'5", my ass.
Well, what about Ethan Page?
No.
Yeah.
I love Ethan Page as a person, as a wrestler, and as a staff member, but I personally don't think Ethan Page has what it takes to be the next generational run. He's good. He's damn good.
You know what would be fun though? Since we're talking about like the Attitude Era real quick, if LA Knight was your Stone Cold, why couldn't Ricky Saints be your Rock?
Because the Rock to his Stone Cold would be somebody else entirely different, and they haven't been around in about a year, and when that music hits, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about because that arena is going to go nuts.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the prize fighter, Kevin Owens. When that dude comes back, that's it. That is the Rock to LA Knight Stone Cold right there. You put those two in there for a good 2-year run, that's generational. Those promos would be great. Those vignettes would be great. We might even get a WrestleMania X7 my way, like promo out of those two. Because Kevin Owens, to me, is one of those guys you could put in the ring with anybody, and they just good. I mean, look, he brought back Stone Cold after like, what, 20 years?
Yes. Right. And that was actually a good match.
And they had a fun match.
Like, and that was a good match.
Dude can wrestle. Dude's great on the mic.
Took a suplex on cement.
Yeah. His last man standing match with Roman for the title was probably top 10 greatest match of all time.
Another great match, yes.
Yeah.
Which leads into the final part. Now that we know we have our generational picks, and we'll see how that works out in the next 10 years if we're still here. We've only got
we'll be here in Chicago.
We've only got about 10 minutes left on this podcast. So let's talk about greatest match of all time, in your opinion. And you can only pick one, and it could be any type of match with as many people in it as possible. Greatest match of all time, one you can go back and watch right now and be like, I'm going to watch that all the way through. Speed round, baby. Crickets.
Oh, man, that's tough.
I know.
To narrow it down just to one.
That's why it's fun.
And then we'll watch the next episode. It's a different answer.
No, because I know what match I'm picking right off rip. So I'm going to let you guys go first.
So I might have to think on that one for a little bit.
I know that one's a little tough.
It's talking all time.
All time. There's actually two matches that I can watch, but I promised myself I'd only pick one. But I'll give you both of them, and then we can kind of discuss off that and see where we're at. My first number one pick match that I would watch no matter what is Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. One of the greatest wrestling matches of all
19.
freaking time.
Yes.
And then my other favorite match that I can go back and watch no matter what, Bret Shawn Iron Man WrestleMania 12 Boyhood Dream. Greatest match. I could watch all 1 hour and 15 minutes of that match.
I just didn't like.
But like my favorite like wrestling match, Brock Angle, or Rock or Benoit Angle, like pretty much anything.
I might have to go with Bret versus Austin, Mania 13. The double turn.
That was 14. No, wait.
13. Chicago.
Bret Austin?
Yeah.
Oh, the one where he was in the sharpshooter and was bleeding to death? Yeah, okay. My bad.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was a damn good storytelling match, because I think that's the match that catapulted Stone Cold into superstardom, because he never quit. He just bled and literally gave his all.
Right.
Like, yeah, Austin 316 was born, but like that's where Stone Cold became the guy, the badass that, the BAMF. That's where the walk came from.
Okay. I'm gonna go super left field.
Okay. I like left field.
I'm gonna go left field. I'm not even gonna pick WWE. And this one is a little bit more recent when you go back and you watch it, but Forbidden Door, Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. I'll give you that.
That match, you can sit anybody in front. As a matter of fact, I think that was the first match I actually showed my youngest son. And he just walked in and just stopped. And he was like, are these guys in WWE? And I'm like, no, son, this is not the WWE. And that right there got him into Japanese wrestling, right? So Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega, Forbidden Door, that match, it had everything. You had the drama. You didn't have to know who the guys were, and you were just sold into it. right there.
All
I
right.
watched it.
Timer's running down, so we're going to do a couple speed rounds. Greatest WrestleMania of all time from top to bottom. It's kind of a trick question if you think about it. Because in my opinion, all the odd number WrestleManias to me are great.
Do we go the
3,
typical pick?
5,
17,
7, 9, 17.
Yeah, 17
19 was great. 21 was
17.
great. Let's not forget about Shawn Michaels Jericho. That was a great one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Eddie Guerrero versus Kurt Angle. That was a great one.
Yeah,
The triple threat at WrestleMania 16 with Kurt Angle. What was it? Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle, and there was somebody else in there for the Intercontinental title. But anyway, I think it was Eddie, actually. Eddie, Jericho, and Angle. I could be wrong. I'm a worst wrestling fan.
We'd have to look this one up. We have to look this one up.
I think it was 16 or 17, one of the others. Yeah, greatest WrestleMania of all time, top to bottom, your opinion.
I mean, yeah, I'm going to go with 17.
17?
Yeah. Let's just go 17.
Yeah, I'm going with 17.
Okay. I'm going to say 17 only because I normally would say 19, but there's one match on 19 that kind of absolutely brutally kills it for me. And we're going to use that as a topic of discussion for episode 2 or 1, whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
And that's the Booker T versus Triple H match.
Had a feeling you're going to say that. Had a feeling you're going to say that.
WrestleMania 19 had potential to be the greatest WrestleMania of all time, but that one segment killed it for me because of the whole golden shovel era of Triple H, man. And we'll get into that in the next conversation. But we want to take a moment to thank you guys so much. If you've stuck around for this 1 hour and 16-minute ramble, rough shot of us just kind of talking to you and giving you something to listen to on your long drive. If you're an indie worker and you're listening to podcasts, we really appreciate you. You guys got anything you want to add in or you want to say to the people, or this is your moment, this is your introduction, let them know like who you are and what you're about and where to follow you, what's good. You don't even have social media.
Yeah, well, like I said, just thank you guys if you've stuck around this long. Continue support, share, like, all the good stuff. And we'll see where the second episode takes us. Like I said, I hope you stick along for the ride.
Yeah, and I just want to thank, people in the background that just kind of got me here. Like, you know who you are. It's just way too many people just to even name. Just thank you, fans that we don't even have yet, fans that we will gain. Just stick with the three of us and we will get you to where you need to go.
And you can follow us all at the Wrestling Scrubs. Right now, it's just Instagram, it's Facebook, and it's YouTube. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't do anything. And if you're listening to this, or better yet, if you're watching this, I want you to know that there's an audio version over on Spotify, on Apple, on all kinds of places where you consume your podcast. I'm working very hard behind the scenes trying to get this thing to be as successful as possible. And pretty soon, I guess technically you can go ahead and get them now. Just BCA store. We have Wrestling Scrubs t-shirts, mugs, sweatshirts, and hoodies and stuff like that. But we're working on getting an official Wrestling Scrubs website. And so if you want to support, you can go ahead and buy merchandise now. We'll leave the link in the bio and everywhere so we can get this thing going. If you're a potential sponsor or a mom and pop business that you want us to showcase your stuff once we get a decent following, that means you guys have to actually follow us. Share the content, like, subscribe, tweet, snap, tick. What's TikToks? Like just share, repost, steal, AI, like something of that nature. Any guys, in all seriousness, man, check us out. Follow us. My name is Brandon Corey Alexander. You can follow me at JustBCA on all platforms, everything. Doesn't matter what it is. And we just like to thank you so much. And I thank you guys for bringing me on to this platform with you and giving me a shot to step out from behind the computer with the trauma center and editing and all that stuff. And then shout out to PWA, which is our next stop, where you guys are going to do some trauma center stuff, get a couple interviews with some things like that. So sound off below in the comments, guys. Who do you want to see these guys interview and what do you want us to talk about? And we'll see you next time on the Wrestling Scrubs podcast.